Good morning, everyone. Today we are still at theme two, traditions. So today we will talk about music. Okay, music. So we have here new words. Before we start, I will let you listen to the new words first. Okay, listen very carefully, and these are the answers on this. Okay, so just listen and write it on your book.
Theme 2. Traditions. Lesson 4. New words. Listen and repeat. 1. Wind instruments. 2. Percussion instruments. 3. Stringed instruments. 4. Bow. 5. Hitting. 6. Metal. 7. Blowing. 8. Bamboo. 9. Musical instruments.
Okay, so we have here number one for the new word. That's wind instruments. So wind instruments. Okay, so wind instruments are a musical instrument that is used with the wind. For example, this one, flute. We have saxophone, okay? So these instruments, in order for them to make a sound, to produce a sound, you have to put an air on it, or a wind, or you have to blow an air in it in order to make a sound. These are what we call wind instruments, okay? Wind instruments. Next, we have number two is percussion instruments. Percussion instruments. So we have examples here. We have drum, we have xylophone, and also percussion instruments, as you can see here, that in order for them to make a sound, you have to hit them. It's either with a stick, like the drum, with the hand, or with something, okay? These are what we call percussion instruments. Next, we have number three, stringed instruments. Stringed instruments. So, as we can see in some examples, we have violin, we have cello, and also we have guitar, okay? So these instruments have strings. So we use strings for us to change the sound of it, okay? So we have number four, a violin is played with a bow. So we have here the violin, a picture of a violin, and this thing is what we call a bow, okay? So a violin is played with a bow. You put your fingers on the strings to change the sound. So this is like guitar, but instead of using your fingers to make sound, you use a bow, okay? Next, we have number five. A drum is played by hitting it with a stick. So a drum is played by hitting it with a stick. So we have here the drum, a picture of a drum. And you can see here the stick, and for you to be able to make a sound, to produce a sound, you have to hit it, okay? Next, it's made of wood or metal, okay? So the stick is sometimes made of wood. As we can see here on the picture, we have a stick that's made of wood, okay? But sometimes it is made of metal as well, okay? Next, we have number seven, a flute is played by blowing air into a hole. So this is a flute here. So as we can see, a girl is blowing air into a hole for her to be able to make a sound. Okay, so it's made of metal, but sometimes they are made of bamboo. Okay, bamboo. So we can see here on the picture that the girl is using a flute that is made of metal, but sometimes a flute is made of bamboo. Okay, next. Violins, drums, flutes are all musical instruments. Okay, this is what we call musical instruments. So we have wind instruments, percussion instruments, stringed instruments, and these three are musical instruments. Yep. Okay. So let's take a look at listening part. So A, you will hear two children talking about traditional musical instruments. So listen and circle true or false. So we have here number 1 is already answered. So you just have number 1, letter A is already answered. So you just have to answer B, number 1, letter B, and then number 2, A and B, okay? And then you proceed to the letter B, circle the correct words, listen again, and then check, okay? All right, listen.
Listening. 1,
Today we're talking to two children about traditional instruments from their countries. Hello, what's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm John. I'm from the USA.
Okay, John, what instrument do you play?
I play the banjo.
What's a banjo?
Well, it's a stringed instrument. It was first played by African Americans, but now a lot of people play it.
How is it played?
It's played with the fingers.
And what's it made of?
It's made of wood or metal.
2,
Let's find out about another instrument. Hi, what's your name and where do you come from?
Hello, my name is Bibek, and I'm from Nepal.
Nice to meet you, Bibek. What instrument do you play?
I play the sarangi.
The sarangi. What's that?
The sarangi is played by the Garndeba people. It's a stringed instrument.
How is it played?
It's played with a bow.
Oh, I see. Like a violin?
Yes, it's a bit like a violin.
What's it made of?
It's made of wood.
Now, listen again and check.
Okay, so let's go to letter B, circle the correct words, listen again, and then check, okay? Listen carefully, here we go.
Listening. 1,
Today we're talking to two children about traditional instruments from their countries. Hello, what's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm John. I'm from the USA.
Okay, John, what instrument do you play?
I play the banjo.
What's a banjo?
Well, it's a stringed instrument. It was first played by African Americans, but now a lot of people play it.
How is it played?
It's played with the fingers.
And what's it made of?
It's made of wood or metal.
2,
Let's find out about another instrument. Hi, what's your name and where do you come from?
Hello, my name is Bibek, and I'm from Nepal.
Nice to meet you, Bibek. What instrument do you play?
I play the sarangi.
The sarangi. What's that?
The sarangi is played by the Garndeba people. It's a stringed instrument.
How is it played?
It's played with a bow.
Oh, I see. Like a violin?
Yes, it's a bit like a violin.
What's it made of?
It's made of wood.
Now, listen again and check.
Okay, so I hope that you answered that one correctly. Okay, if you haven't answered it, you can just come back later. So now we will go to the useful language. So I want you to listen and practice, okay? Useful language. Okay, listen.
Useful language. Listen, then practice.
Which instrument is traditionally played by Australian people?
The didgeridoo is traditionally played by Australian people. It's a wind instrument.
How is it played?
It's played by blowing air into a hole.
What's it made of?
It's made of wood.
Okay, so that is for our useful language. Next, let's go to reading. Okay, this is page 21. On the next page, we have reading. Okay, so I will read it to you. Okay, so we have letter A. Read about a musical instrument from Malaysia. Underline the sentence written in a passive voice. Okay, so we have here headline that is not answered. Okay, so let's go on the article first, and then we will make the headline, which is the letter B. We have the choices 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we have 1, 2, and 3. So let's read this one first, and then decide what is the best headline. Okay, here we go. Brian Wilson, March 19th. The pencil is a traditional musical instrument from Malaysia. It is famous for an unusual reason. It is played by blowing air into a hole with your nose. It is a traditional instrument of the Semang people who live in Malaysia. It is a wind instrument, and you can put your fingers over the holes to change the sound. The pencil is made of bamboo. It is often played by the Semang people during festivals. The Semang sing, dance, and decorate themselves with leaves. Not many people can play this instrument because most people do not play music with their noses. The pencil is a very interesting musical instrument from Malaysia. Okay, so we just read the article about a pencil. Okay, so let's go over to the letter B. Read the article again and then choose the best headline. So we have the choices here. Number 1 is Life in Malaysia. So if I was writing an article with the headline of Life in Malaysia, it's supposed to consist 1. Life in Malaysia consists of like language, food, the people in Malaysia, right? And we don't have that in the article that we just read. So Life in Malaysia is not the best headline for this article. Okay, next we have bamboo instruments, number 2. Okay, so as we can notice here that the number 2 headline, the number 2 choice is about bamboo instruments, and it is in the plural form. So there's S on it. And we only talk about one bamboo instrument in this article, just the pencil, right? So I don't think this is the best headline for this article. Next, we have number 3, the pencil, an instrument from Malaysia. Okay, so this is the best headline that we can have on this article. As we can see, we talked about the pencil, and it is an instrument from Malaysia. We talked about who play this instrument. What kind of instrument is this? Is this like percussion? This is like air musical. This is like wind instrument, right? So we talk about this kind of stuff, we talk about pencil itself, right? In this article. Okay, so number 3 is the best headline for this article. Okay, so now that you know how to make a headline in an article, I hope that you learn from me. Thank you.